Malaysia is encountering the northeaster monsoon, which brings heavy rains across Malaysia, especially on the east coast of peninsular Malaysia, west of Sarawak and east of Sabah. Met Malaysia has announced a continuous rains warning on November 27, 2024. The affected states are expecting a continuous heavy rain that will last until November 29, 2024. Continuous heavy rains may cause floods in certain states, especially in lowland and underdeveloped regions. Floods can leave lasting impacts on the environment, the people, and some of the less obvious aspects of life, like the insects and pest populations around us. In this video, let's explore what happens to insects and pests after a flood, and why they appear in the first place. Many insects and animals are directly impacted during floods. Heavy rains, rising waters, and swift currents can displace them from their habitats, sweeping them into new areas, including homes and urban environments. But what happens next is often overlooked. As the waters recede, these displaced insects and animals are stranded in new environments. This can result in an influx of insects and pests you may not typically encounter in your home. One of the most notorious post-flood visitors is the mosquito. When floodwaters recede, they often leave puddles and pools of stagnant water, the perfect breeding grounds for mosquitoes. These little pests lay eggs in standing water, which hatch into larvae within a few days. A sudden surge in mosquito numbers increases the spread of diseases like dengue and malaria. Flies, especially houseflies, are also more prevalent after floods. Floods inevitably cause some casualties, especially among captive animals. When the flood recedes, organic matter like dead animals, human waste, or plant debris is left on the surface, and flies are drawn to these decomposing sources. Not only are they a nuisance, but they can also transmit diseases by contaminating food and surfaces. Floods can drive cockroaches out of their usual hiding spots and into homes. These resilient pests are known for surviving in challenging conditions, and with floodwaters disturbing their habitats, they'll seek shelter in dry areas like your home or business. Cockroaches can spread bacteria and other pathogens, making them a health risk after the flood. Flooded environments also push ants to relocate. Many species, like carpenter ants or fire ants, will abandon their nests in search of higher ground. As the floodwaters rise, these ants often invade homes, seeking dry places to rebuild their colonies. In some cases, fire ants may form floating rafts to survive the floods, making them especially dangerous as they swarm and bite anyone who approaches them. Norway rats are known to nest in soil burrows and building imperfections. Floods will definitely displace rats from their underground nests. Floodwater filled all the burrows, and rats had to retreat to higher and safer places like the ceiling and attics. Rats may carry and spread leptospirosis through the floodwaters, which will be a food security crisis as people may not have access to clean water and food during and after the flood. So, why do these insects show up after a flood? The simple answer is displacement. Floods cause significant habitat disruption. Insects that rely on specific environments for food, shelter, or reproduction are forced to relocate when these environments are flooded or destroyed. For example, mosquitoes need standing water to lay eggs, and the stagnant pools left behind after floods are the perfect spots. Similarly, cockroaches and rats seek dry ground, and are drawn to human dwellings to rebuild their colonies after their homes have been washed away. Even pests like flies are often driven by the search for food and shelter, after the floodwaters disrupt their typical sources of sustenance. For example, mass occurrence of flies was observed after the earthquake-tsunami disaster that struck Japan in 2011. A few marine product processing factories were demolished in the tsunami aftermath, causing massive amounts of dead fish to disperse on the land after the water receded. Flies breed extensively on the dead fish, causing chronic infestation in the affected cities. Here are some simple steps you can take to reduce the likelihood of infestations. 1. Remove standing water. Check your surroundings and eliminate any standing water where mosquitoes might breed. This includes puddles, containers, and even clogged gutters. 2. Declutter. Do not let damaged furniture or electronics to clutter outside for too long to prevent pest establishments. 3. Clean up debris. After the floodwaters recede, clean up any rotting organic matter that could attract flies or other pests. This includes food waste, dead animals, and decaying plants. 4. Use insect repellents. Consider using personal protection or insect repellents to keep mosquitoes and flies at bay when you are out cleaning. 5. Get professional help. For severe infestations, you may need to contact your trusted pest control to handle the situation.